Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Zivko Stojanov and today we'll be talking about securing your services using Azure Managed Identities. Before diving deep into the technical part of my presentation, I would like to briefly mention what is Managed Identity and how it helps us with securing our services. Basically, managed identities eliminates the need for storing credentials. We as human beings or we as developers, we can easily expose our credentials. We can do that by setting up these credentials to web configs or app settings, and they can be publicly accessible. Basically, managed identities provides an identity for applications to use when connecting to the specific resource that supports Azure Active Directory authentication. For example, our application may communicate via a managed identity to key vaults, and whereas developers and or other stakeholders can provide these credentials or certificates on a secure manner, or our application also can communicate securely with Azure blob storage. Which is in our case what I have set up, and it is already being deployed on Azure on the cloud, is basically we have one simple Azure function which is HTTP trigger. It can be get or post. We are extracting the data and we are storing that information here in our this local name local variable. It can be via the body parameter and or by query parameter. We have a simple check. I'm not going to bother with that, but the whole idea is that this function want to create containers using this blob container client. But the way how we are communicating with this client is that we are not providing credentials and a username and password for connecting to the blob. We are simply providing a managed identity. Let's move on to this is the managed identity that is already being created and deployed. Let's move on to my setup. What I have here, I have due to the security reason, I don't want to show and to list all my services in my development resource group, but here we have a newly created for only for this demo managed identity, which itself behind the scene create service principal combination with these two IDs, and they are unique and they cannot be modified. We have a storage, Azure storage account. We have a Azure function, the function that I've already mentioned to you, and we have a code where we can run that function executable. That function, in our case, we can run it via HTTP with HTTP get method. The query parameter is name and the value is test. When we run it, it should fail eventually with some error which can be here in the output, and it says that failed to retrieve a token from the included credentials. That means that we need somehow to configure to allow this storage to have to communicate with managed identity, and then afterwards we need to assign that managed identity here in function in order to know how to communicate to each other. Let's get started. We can go here under access control blade. Here under role assignment, we have a lot of roles, but we are looking for a specific role, that is storage account contributor. We need that because we want to create containers, and we need to be contributor. We need to we want that storage account contributor role and assign to our managed identity. As a user assigned managed identity, we press select and we assign that. When that is done, we need to go here under our function, basically what we need to do is to create or assign user assigned managed identities. What are the difference between these two is basically this is system assigned managed identity, and this is specifically tied to this resource. Whenever we are removing this resource, that managed identity is going to be removed. And here with user assigned, we have a managed identity which is standalone Azure resource, and we can have many. As many as we want user assigned managed identities. We can have a different rules depending on our needs, and the life cycle of that managed identity basically is independent from this resource. How to select? We press add and select this identity from our test resource. When this is done, we are ready to try one more time to see what will be the output, and the output end up with success. And we can see if we go under containers, we can see that now we have successfully created test container. I can go again and run it one more time with test 1 and see what will be the output. The container is here. Now the most important part here, and the thing that we are trying to achieve, is basically to rotate these keys, these access keys that serves us to somehow connect our service with this container, but we don't no longer want to hard code these keys in our configuration. We can simply rotate these keys either manually or using CI/CD or using CLI commands directly developed in our local machine. Basically, if I rotate the keys, primary and secondary keys, and go here and run it one more time, we don't have any downtimes at all. And we can see that if I go here and change the test with 2 and go to containers, we can see that the container has been created successfully. Well, that's it. I hope that you like this video.